Hey guys, this is Kills here with a short video on unknown scrolls and social summons. Basically covering some monsters that not many people talk about, not many people put in the limelight, but are actually very useful for a lot of beginners. Today we're going to be talking about Yetis, which are a class of monsters that are mostly 2 stars, but with one that's 3 star, the Dark Yeti, that one's for later in the game. You'll learn about him when you need. But before that, everyone will get a lot of social summons, a lot of unknown scroll summons, and a lot of monsters you won't know if they're useful or not. I'll try to cover the ones that I feel will help most people early on in the game. You can feed them later on once they get superseded by other stronger monsters, but without the stronger monsters you can still use these to great effect. So Wind Yeti, he's one of the first monsters that I recommend that's not on the highly recommended list, which includes Wind Pixie, Water Garuda, Wind Warbear, Fire Inagami, things like that. Those monsters take you well into the late game, but they limit your choices in terms of what scenarios you can do and what you can do otherwise when you're lacking monsters. So let's start off. Wind Yeti, he has Slash Hook. The default Yeti attack slows for 1 turn with about 80% chance when you fully skill it. It's not that useful, but it's better than nothing. His second attack, Heavy Slash, one of his better skills. Attacks with 2 fast punches, each punch has a 30% chance to stun the enemy for a turn. When you first start off without any skill ups, it's pretty average. 30% chance multiplied by 2 is something like 40 something percent. The less than 50% chances, not much use in that. But once you skill it up, each hit actually ends up with a 50% chance to stun. So overall you actually get 75% chance to stun. The 3 turn cooldown gets reduced to 2 turn cooldown, which means that you can do something like stun, heal, stun to limit the amount of damage that your team will take. And finally, his heal. So this heal is actually very good if used correctly. It recovers HP depending on how many allies are left alive. So from what I've read on the internet, it heals about 46%, fully skilled with 4 to 5 monsters alive. So it doesn't really vary that much when you have 4 or 5 monsters depending on the dungeon or the scenario you're playing, or the arena. That's how much it usually heals when you have everyone alive. It starts with a 5 turn cooldown, reduces to 3 turns at max skill. It's very useful. He's a defensive typing monster, so his defense is high, his HP is average, his attack is fairly low. So with this guy, I've ruined him basic HP, defense, HP ruins, all energy. They're just basic 3 and 4 star ruins. The percentage ones are brought to +9 or +10 depending on whether they're 3 or 4 star runes, so that they all give 24% bonus overall. He's a very good healer. You can be using him in place of Light Unagami when you haven't farmed him yet. He works just as well as the Water Howl. It's almost like a mini Chasun before you get him. Before you get the real Chasun, and it can limit the amount of damage your team can take with his 75% chance to stun every 2 turns. Okay, Tantra, he's the Fire Yeti. He's a very good tank. He doesn't do much else otherwise, which is why he doesn't get used much. But when you're starting off and you need a fire tank for certain areas like a water scenario or Hall of Water, and you can't bring your Fire Inagami, and your Wind Warbear is not going to tank shit because he's not going to get hit until last, then he's quite useful to build. He's easy to get because he's a Yeti, and he comes more often than not when you're summoning unknown scrolls and social summons. So he's got a few things. His Ancestors' Blessings is his main powerful skill that helps him tank. Creates a shield that's 50% of his max HP for 3 turns and recovers 15% of his HP every turn for 3 turns while he's under that shield. Even if the shield goes away, he still recovers that 15% HP as long as it doesn't get cleansed or there's no heal debuff. Heal recovery debuff. Fire Burst. So this is his main nuke. It's proportionate to his max HP and reduces the enemy's attack speed for 2 turns. Also, it comes down to a 2-turn cooldown once you fully skill it. It's good because it synergizes with his tank ability by letting him focus on HP. His skill 1's just the same skill 1 as every other Yeti. So he's a HP type monster, high HP. The rest of his stats are very average. But that's fine because all you need to do is build him up full HP. I've only actually got him to +6 runes and +7 runes because he's probably already been superseded in my train of thought, but very useful early game. These two are going to be the best 2 Yetis for you to keep and skill up and hold on to until you find a more suitable replacement, which would be like the Light Inugami or Chasun or Light Bear Man. But these monsters are much easier to skill up. They work well without any other runes. You don't need violent, you don't need crit, you just need HP. And HP comes from Garen Forest. Scenario 1, Hell Mode. Very easy, very well thought out path of progression for that one. So let's see what they can do. I'll do a basic scenario where we use him or the Fire Yeti as a tank. The Fire Yeti would be the main tank in this scenario because everything is water, so they're gonna hit water predominantly. If you had your Wind Bear, Ramagos or the Wind Bear as a tank, he'd get hit last. Everything else would be dead before he even gets touched. So let's just bring a few things. Oh, and I've also built a Light Imp. He's another 2-star that's worth noting. I'll show you here. Furious Pierce. This one ignores the armor and has a 50% crit rate bonus. So when you're first starting off, crit rate's pretty hard to get, but having a skill that gives you 50% extra crit rate means that even with shit runes, with shit equipment, whatnot, you can easily get him to 100% just for this one skill, and it penetrates the armor. Very, very useful. Light Ball. Throws a light ball and stuns the enemy for 1 turn. Guaranteed stun, always good. He's very squishy. And this one, attacks the enemy. If you get a critical hit, increases your attack speed for 2 turns, so it makes you attack faster. He's basically a glass cannon. As long as you're in a scenario where he won't get hit, or you can protect him one way or another, he should be fine. So for a scenario like this, we can probably just 3-man it. We've got our basic needs. We've got a tank. We've got a healer. We've got a damage dealer. Actually, I'll put in a buffer just because. Let's just make it a bit safer. The runes are very average. So Shannon's our buffer. Wind Pixie, most people know about her. It's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions in regards to them, you can just post them up. I'll endeavor to answer them. This is mostly a video for beginners, so most people who have gotten past the stage where they need to use something like the Yetis, the Wind Pixies, and the Light Imp, you probably won't find this very useful for you. But for people who are just starting out, these are all monsters that by themselves are very easy to get. The hardest one to get will probably be the Light Imp because you have to get him from the Light Dungeon. But besides the Light Dungeon monster, you can always replace him with other decent damage dealers. He's just good because being light, he doesn't attract a lot of attention from the AI when you're fighting in scenarios, and he's suitable to bring into almost every scenario as long as you have the right tank, the right healer, and right buffer for the scenario. As you can see, the Fire Yeti is taking a fair bit of damage. Probably lucky that it brought a buffer for the defense buff. But we've got our Wind Yeti who just saved most of his life. He's been stunned, so he hasn't had a chance to put his shield up, but as soon as he gets a chance to put his shield up, he should be fine. Oh, and he just died. Well, with this one we should be fine now because most of the enemy team's actually already been killed, so we've just got the last remnants of it now, and we're in the last part of the scenario. I guess I'm fairly lucky that I actually decided to bring the Shannon. even though I was thinking that I wouldn't need it. Turns out I do. And that's that. That's just the basic rundown of how the Fire Yeti goes, as well as the Wind Yeti. Oh, there's something. Let's see what it is. Okay. Ooh. Do I need? Yeah, why not? Oh, and as I was saying before, these are all 2 stars that appear in the shop. Let's see. Waterhowl. These two are actually quite decent as well, but most people already covered them, so there's not much point in me doing them unless there's a lot of people requesting me to do a quick overview. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a higher level dungeon, and let's see if we can put, well, not really a higher level. Let's do Giants level 6. This is a lower level dungeon, but it's definitely a dungeon that can be done at a lower level. So when you're using mostly 5 stars, I'm going to put Veramos for his HP lead. My Veramos isn't skilled very well, or isn't run very well. You can take a look at his stats. Very average, 17,000, no skill ups. He's got Swift, but I'm just using him as a safety to show what it'd be like. So Shannon is your buffer. Your main healer will be Wind Yeti. What else do we need? We need some kind of damage dealer. And a reviver. No. So this. Is this light? Okay, this is light. Do a second heal. Yeah, we'll do 2 heals. No, actually we'll do a light vagabond, will reduce the damage we're taking. So this is a very strange team, but you see, it should have all the attributes that we need. So we've got someone that reduces damage, we've got a HP lead. Unfortunately, I haven't got a better one to show, and it's much easier, much safer to show you something like this. So this is Giants B6 with 1 healer, 1 buffer, damage reducer, HP lead, and a damage dealer. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have brought Veramos. He seems a bit strong for this scenario. Actually, let's change it. It seems a bit too... let's see how they go first. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, I think this is a suitable stage. We're basically just showing off the Wind Yeti's healing. So other than that, there's not much else to show. The Fire Yeti doesn't do well in these scenarios because for the dungeons, you generally want a team that offers a lot of synergy. The Fire Yeti is only a tank, and tanks aren't that useful in this scenario because you need the whole team to be alive rather than just one unit. And it's hard to get them to focus on one unit because the giant is the biggest damage dealer and he'll hit everyone as an AoE the whole time. The Wind Yeti as the primary healer when you're lacking others works quite well and works better than Lulu for the most part for scenarios where all the damage is mostly AoE, which means that, see, with synergy it heals a shit ton for the everyone, including the imp. It's based on everyone's own proportion of HP from memory. I could be wrong, but irregardless, it is quite strong and quite useful. So there we have it. Wind Yeti as the primary healer for Giants level 6. Fatal Rune, I could use that for someone that... Oh, actually, we can do a bit of arena. That's just to show how these guys would fare in an arena matchup. Let's see, this is a basic team. So this is like a level 35 team. So this is kind of mid game, early game. This is probably a bit still considered early game to me. I'm still probably just in the mid game myself, if even that. But let's see. So here you have 2 fire and 2 wind. The main damage dealers will be the Yen and probably the Arnold with his extortion. Varad is more of a support monster, resets the cooldown of all the monsters, which means that this guy is going to do his extortion again. Atenai is a healer with a attack AoE attack that also heals. So she's basically just a fairly strong healer. Balances out the life of all the monsters, makes everyone a bit harder to kill. The squishiest is probably going to be Yen. So now, since we know it's going to be fire damage mostly from Arnold, a bit of wind damage, we will have to bring in a few units that will easily cater to our current situation. So they're not going to attack any fire units, so we're going to use the wind unit as our tank. Vagabond, 2 healers, Vagabond, and a damage dealer. Actually, we could probably do someone like Taru, and that should be fine. Oh. Actually, let's be safe. Nah, we'll just go with... we'll just go with Colleen. That's good enough. Let's see how we go. Sorry about the wait, guys. Alright, so as we thought, first things first was kill the squishiest monster. The squishiest monster should be the Rakshasa, the wind one, and also because she's unpredictable. She may or may not hit our Yeti. We have no idea until she actually does what she does. Oh, there's the extortion, fiery dance. This will increase everyone's attack power. And who else? So currently we're focusing on the Rakshasa. Let's kill her as soon as we can. Slash wave. So the other benefit of the Vagabonds is this attack reduces attack power of other monsters. Let's do it on this guy because we have no idea where he's going. Oh, fuck. That's the heal. That's the attack bar reduction. And this is our heal. Before too many things happen. Let's see how we go. Oh, she's gone. Time for us to stun. No stun. Alright. Whatever's. Still gotta kill. We know that for the most part, the Wind Yeti is gonna take the brunt of the damage. He's a good off tank. Not an amazing tank, but he does well irregardless. Arnold has been putting HP, heal recovery debuff on our Yeti, so we've got to stun him for a bit. Hopefully this should kill the Varad, or not. Let's just heal up. And here we go. We should be good now. It's taking longer than expected, but these are all mostly 2 or 3 star monsters, all that I've brought into 5 star, 4 star, 4 star, and a 4 star with probably very average runes. But my runes are not much better than theirs, so beggars can't really be too choosy with what they got. Finally. Alright, time to focus down there. Tenai looks like she's more squishy than the Death Knight, and she definitely is more squishy. Let's go. Let's stun him. We'll save the stun for next turn. We don't know whether we're going to need it or not. Attack power increase, defense down, and stun. Let's see if it works. Nope, resistance. It's fine. Deadly dart. Attack. And we're done. So that was a basic showing of some 2 stars fighting in the arena once they've been properly ruined. I'll just show you the other monster that I used, which was the Colleen. She just has all HP with 1 speed, all energy runes. What about this guy? All HP, 4 star runes, nothing amazing. Just your average Vagabond. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps with your unknown scroll summons.